a man to describe himself. But to the best of my knowledge, I think Teco Benson is a gentleman, first of all. And Teco Benson is a Nigerian. Teco is a filmmaker. Teco is a family man. Teco is a husband, is a father. He's a very patriotic Nigerian with a lot of zeal, fear of God. I think these few words can describe me for now, except if you want to go into more details. Precisely, I'm from Anambra State. And in Anambra State, I come from a town called Ojoto. Ojoto is in the Idemili South local government area. My growing up was in Enugu, in a town called Ojiriba. When my father was a civil servant, I was born there, and we grew up there. And my growing up was really rough. You know, I think that was where this fantasy and this idea of filmmaking actually came from. I was a very rough child. Funny enough, my life is completely opposite of what it used to be when I was a kid. As a growing child, we saw lots of James Bond movies, lots of movies that fascinated me as a child. That was from the age of black and white and the entry of color television and all that. So we saw those, and those were the things that fascinated me really, you know, in motion pictures. We weren't exposed to cinemas early enough. What we saw as kids were mobile cinemas, where the film unit of the Ministry of Health, where my dad was working, will always, you know, take some movies to neighborhoods. We lived in government quarters then. They come to neighborhoods, play the cinema. You know, it was in the 70s. You know, that was when I grew up. You know, we're old already. You know, so they come show the movies. They kept doing it. So you might see them today before you see them again, maybe another 3 months. While in school, in '92, living in bondage, I was barely out. Living in bondage launched in '92. And I said, oh, this is where I belong. This is where I should be. That living in bondage was a turning point in my life. So I now knew that film industry has come in Nigeria. So this is actually where I'm supposed to be. So I was already working in '93, '94. In '94, I was working in Onitsha. Opportunity came. We saw a place where we were doing audition. I attended audition, and that was the beginning of my journey. I became an actor. In the first audition I went, I was given the lead character. So that was a horrible experience because we auditioned for almost 6 months, and that film was never shot. Eventually, when it was shot, we never saw the movie till today. The first movie I acted that came out was called Forbidden. I played a role in a Forbidden. It was an Igbo movie. You know, then eventually in '96 I produced my first movie. It's called Compromise. I acted in the movie as well. So from Compromise we did films like Scores to Settle, Suicide Mission, where Regina Askia put Richard Moffett in a bottle. We did films like Abandon, Atrocity. I was producing then, Narrow Escape, several movies that we did then, you know. And towards the end of '97, my directing career started. My first directed movie was called Waterloo. Nollywood has made tremendous progress. You may be surprised I'm saying this, but truly, whether we like it or not, the industry has made tremendous progress. I remember when we started, things were not the way it was today. When we started, it was a new profession. It was a new industry. It was a new way of life. People embraced it. It was like, come and see American One. The Nigerians never believed that Nigeria, their own country, can make movies. So everybody embraced it. People bought the movies. Living in Bondage was done in Igbo language. But everybody in Nigeria that was alive as at then, be you from any tribe, bought the movie irrespective of the language barrier. That was what actually pushed the producers to go a step further to subtitle the movie. So a subtitled version came out after the first one, so that people could understand what these people were saying. You can imagine the power. All right? Now, if you sit down today, 2013, all right, 21 years after living in bondage, and watch that movie, you might not watch it to the end. I just finished work on my movie called Accident. I'm not very good at telling my stories. I like people to see it because one of the biggest tools I work with is suspense. So that's why it's hard for me to come and say the story of my movie. But basically, Accident is a thriller, and it's a movie that will actually turn your mind around. So basically, I have 4 movies I'm trying to bring out now. Accident, Blood in the Lagoon, Centrifugal Force, Red Hot just came out in the cinemas. So it's going to come on DVD very soon. So that's it. The other ones are still in the works. We're in the process, and we don't have a name yet to play with. My advice to Nigerians, young people, students who want to make a career in the film industry is, first of all, I want them to know that this job has to do with the gift of acting, the creative gift, because that is the major thing you need. If the gift is there, you will make it. But if the gift is not there, no matter what you study, you can never get it. So first of all, make sure that the talent is there. Even in the Bible, it's recorded that the gift of a man make it away for him. If you are sure the gift is there, I will advise you, please, get education. Get educated. There are many ways you can get education. Now, there are many film schools, there are many drama schools around. Get educated is very important because you're not going to suffer a lot on set. Get education, then you come and learn on the set. Education will teach you theories. Many schools also offer practical training. But when you come on set, you'll be in tune with reality. And when you come into the industry, if you want to make it, you have to be God-fearing. You have to know what you want. You have to decide from the beginning where you want to concentrate. If you want to be a writer, pursue that. If you want to be an actor, pursue that. If you want to be a director, pursue that. At the end of the day, if you want to spread to others, it can work. But first of all, decide on one thing you want to do. And when you come, there are lots of distraction in the industry. Be focused. If you're not focused, you'll be carried away. It's not about drinking, it's not about women, it's about reality. What you see is different from what we go through. God bless you.